Just recently, I visited a friend at the Rabbit Hole Farm in Newark. They continue to do incredible things here. They're teaching the community and the local schools. They're growing all sorts of great things, fruits and vegetables and herbs. They have workshops and classes. By some means, people believe that Newark is one of the worst places to live in Newark, but no matter how dark things get, there's always some light. Kevin Porter is an incredible being that is devoted to doing some of these things. He continues to grow the community and bringing people together, having ceremonies of all sorts, sweat lodge as well. This is an incredible journey of a man and his wife bringing healing to the community. The sweat lodge plays a major role here. People come for healing, to let things go, and to embrace new things. Stay with us. Listen to his journey and all of the great things that he's creating here and growing in the farm. There seems to be a beacon of light in Newark, New Jersey.
Kevin Porter, Rabbit Hole Farm, Newark. Here we are in the Brick City, the South Ward. It's a bit noisy today, but here we are. We're sitting here. I'm sitting here with my good friend Omar, who we met in a Sananga ceremony or one of the sweats. We have a sweat lodge.
We have the sweat lodge here. That was amazing.
So, Rabbit Hole Farm and the name, people always ask, why Rabbit Hole Farm? I think they kind of like know, but they want to make sure. Because it's we took it from the Matrix. Like, let's see how deep the Rabbit Hole Farm goes. People think we're here just growing stuff. Yes, we do. And just having a good time. Yes, we do. But it's about you connecting with your inner self. It's nature back here, and we are nature. It's about you connecting with nature, feeling good about no matter where you are in your life, feeling good about who you are, who you really are, what you are, where you come from. You are nature. That's it.
That's beautiful.
You know, and everybody goes through changes in their lives. I mean, I have an advantage over most of you because I'm mature. I've seen a niche of every bad moment that has passed. And now I know these bad moments, all I have to do is look at my watch. In a couple of seconds, it's gone. Nothing is permanent. It's all impermanent. So if you can understand that, even your life, and that's the most important thing to understand, your life is impermanent. So why get caught up in nonsense? Why have a job that you hate going to? You know, you are a creator. Create your job. Create your space in this existence. You know, there is suffering everywhere. But what are you going to do? Realize it and do the best you can to overcome the suffering.
You know, we spoke a little bit about that offline. You mentioned about so many things going on in the world.
Yeah.
And some brothers come to me and they be like, man, did you hear about, you know, the president, what he's doing and up in China and that. I'm like, yo, listen, what could you do about that?
Nothing.
Yeah, you could do something about you. You see?
Exactly.
Focus on your life. How is it that you're helping people in those type of things?
Yeah.
Perhaps, go ahead, brother.
Because when you come to, like, same thing Brother Omar was saying, when you talk about the world, it has always been chaotic. But a great sage has said, seek not to change the world, but seek to change the way you look at the world. Because you can never change people. You know, me and Omar are sitting here, but you know what? It's two different worlds going on here.
Yes, yes.
I'm sure they're both positive worlds, I know that. But his world is different than mine. You know, and your world is different from everybody you know. You get 10 people together, you know what? You can say you have 10 different worlds. Everybody's perspective on what they're seeing, what they're hearing, what they're smelling, what they're tasting is different. You know, you might agree that it's good, but your good is different from their good.
Right.
Your bad is different from their bad.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing we can do with what's going on in the world is change our perspective, develop a positive attitude. And my method is meditation. I just come from the UK, Great Britain, and I did a 60-day silent retreat. No talking for 60 days, eating 2 meals a day in silence, you know? And as I look at the great sages, my role model, most of them meditated. Somebody was telling me the movie Air, I missed it because I was away. He was a meditator, the guy that created Nike. A lot of these big CEOs, they're meditators because that's where creativity comes from and positivity comes from.
I do tell people, as we already know, that praying is speaking to God, and then meditating is listening to God.
Yeah.
See? Because me and you, we can't both speak at the same time.
No.
We can't, because you won't understand what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
I can't hear what you're saying. But if one of us stay quiet, the message comes across clearly.
You said it.
And oftentimes when I meditate too, I get these downloads, because this is like a new buzzword that people are using, you know, but this information, where's it coming from? I don't know, but comes to me, and then I go, yeah, yes, of course. Like, I would have never thought of that, you know? Like,
right, exactly.
And then I go, I write it down, you know, I start getting on the phone, and I start creating and making my life. You know?
Omar, you hit it right on the head. I was speaking to a group of young people, and this is where it comes from. And I was telling them it's so important to be happy. You have to find out what makes you happy, and it can't be anybody else. Don't do that. You're setting yourself up for failure.
Disaster.
Find how you can find happiness in yourself. Because if you have a vision, if you have a dream, if you have a job, if you are happy, energy connects like this. There's lots of invisible energy floating around us. And when you are happy, you will connect with that. Just like me and brother Omar. Our energies brought us together. He says when he is quiet, the energy comes to him with the solution. And that's how it is. If you're negative, and nobody wants to be around negative people, but other negative people. So where is that going to get you? Keep it positive, and you'll meet people that will help you with your vision, that will help support you in your vision, will give you words of wisdom, will support. So you need to be positive. I find that through my meditation. I woke up, me and my wife usually meditate 2 to 3 hours a day. I wake up at 3:30 and I might sit to 6:30.
Oh, wow.
Get up at 4, maybe sit to 6:30.
You know, for me, I'm up pretty early, usually about 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I put my sneakers on and my gear, and then I'm out running.
Great.
I run about 6.5 miles. I could do that for like about 7 days a week. You know, I built it up like that.
Yeah.
Of course, I didn't start off like that. You know?
Exactly.
But then I take some of the longer runs too, about 12.5, 13 miles. And I have these other goals and passions and things that I like to accomplish. But I like to tell people that running is like moving meditation.
It is.
You see? It's just that constant, the mind.
Yeah. You hear your breath as you're running, your breath, the breath
Stay
coming
with the
in.
breath. And then I get these things, they're coming in, right? Like thoughts, I'm figuring things out, and now there's like this movie playing. And then I start hearing some of the things like, oh, remember that thing you did? Oh, remember, you see, oh, that was terrible. You shouldn't have did that. You hurt that person. And all that.
Exactly.
And then I'm like, wait a minute. I see you.
Yeah.
I see you. I see who you are.
Mara.
Right?
Yeah. Mara.
I see who you are. Okay, I see you. No, what about, the good things that I've done? How about that? I'm a family man, and I'm bringing up children that are respectful in this life and my own life. I don't drink alcohol. I don't abuse women or myself or my temple or that voice, it gets quiet.
Yeah. So what brother Omar was talking about in our meditative practice, we call that Mara, or the illusion. The illusion is that small negative voice, or it could be big, depending on how you're handling your life and your mentals. It could be big, but it'll tell you that you're not worthy, you can't do this, or this person is better than me, or I'm you know, or it could even tell you have a big head, that I'm the best. It's the same thing. But you got to understand what's talking to you. If it's beneficial for you, really, if it's beneficial for you, I can tell you this: it's going to be beneficial for others. It's nothing positive that's only going to be for you. It's got to help other people. And that's one of the things I do see with positive input into your mind. Usually, it's not just helping you; it's helping other people.
Yeah, we do create the environment that we're in, and perhaps we could talk a little bit about that, about the rabbit hole, the rabbit farm hole, rabbit hole farm.
me, my wife, and family and friends started this over 13 years ago, 2013.
Wow.
We started in 2013. And again, she said, we have to think of the name. And I was just beginning to sit, and she went out. So in an hour, she came back, and I said, I got the name. And she says, what is it? I said, Rabbit Hole Farm. And she smiled, and she said, where did you get that from? I said, The Matrix. But people also say Alice in Wonderland, but it's the same principle. It's not what it appears to be.
Nothing new.
So me and my wife are both meditators, and our friends, like I said, like energy attracts. Liliana does sweats. And she's into the different indigenous people, First Nation culture. So she comes back here with that, and it's healing in there. People go in there and they get healed. They go in there, they cry. They sweat, and we say, what happens at the rabbit hole stays at the rabbit hole. This is a place that you can come and open your heart up, feel comfortable, you know, and kids and people come here. And I heard this a couple times. People leave and say, I felt like I've been to church. And they say, but not church. I says, I know what you mean. You feel like you've been filled inside, and you feel like whole. But this is what this place is meant to do. We don't tie down people to one thing, not meditation, not sweats, not drum ceremonies, which we do, or guitar lessons, which we have back here. We kind of like put things here. We're in nature, so that's a plus. And let people kind of like find their own path. Let people explore.
I remember the last time I was here too, we mentioned about when you walk around and, you know, I see Buddha over there and Jesus over here. And like, you know, there's like a little bit of everything. It's like, it's okay. It's all right.
It's okay.
It's all right. It's all right. We don't shun nobody, and we accept everything. Like, it's okay. We're open.
We have had Hindu fire ceremonies, of course, indigenous sweats, people from all basic religions. But again, when it comes to suffering and liberation from suffering, doesn't matter if you're white, black, Jewish, Christian,
rich,
Muslim,
poor,
it doesn't matter.
Downtown,
suffering is everywhere. And what we want to do is help our brothers and sisters come out of that suffering, find something positive to focus on.
I remember I was speaking with another sister, and she was connecting me with another brother, forgot his name, but then she said, hey, do you want to go to a sweat lodge in Newark? I was like, man, ain't no sweat lodge in Newark. No, there's not. No, I've been to sweat lodge in Canada, upstate, you know. And I said, no, there's not. And they went, yeah. She gave me the address and everything. Came here. I was like, wow, this is beautiful. And there's the sweat lodge there. And over here is where they burn the stones. And there's the fire keeper. And I met a few brothers that were still friends to this day. Still.
Wow. Okay,
man, we're still connected from that time. That was, man, that must have been about 6 years ago, right? And it was so profound, man. It was so deep, and the sweat was so impactful. I walked away like floating on air, man. Really, that's why I come here. I believe in what you do deeply, and to bring out the message that you're doing, man. I'm with you. With you,
thank you. And we support you too in all your endeavors.
Of course. That's what we're doing. We're here to help people and help them to realize you don't have to walk around with guilt and shame.
That
was a big one for me.
Don't believe that.
Exactly.
Well, I think it is for all of us. Again, like I said, I noticed the loop in life early. And I say early in my 30s. I said, this is repetitive. And I said, but it's getting me every time. And then I realized that, hey, I'm gonna stop letting it get me. Then I start to be very positive, and when I heard the negative thoughts, I would ignore them, and I would go through the same thing. No, I'm a good person.
Right.
I have good parents.
Right.
I'm a good father.
Exactly.
I do this.
Exactly.
I don't listen to the nonsense. Again, and if I have done mistakes in the past, of course, I've hurt people, not intentionally, or sometimes maybe intentionally, but I have to forgive myself because I was ignorant, you know, and if I look at what I done last year, I would say, oh, that was ignorant. But I've learned from that, and life is a learning experience. Try not to repeat the things that negatively impact you or other people. Try not to repeat them. It may take a couple of times, but if you can come out of it if you keep trying.
Yeah, this is definitely the place that you want to meet with like-minded people. And I know you told me that this used to be a lot. It was like a parking lot.
It was
a two.
No, it was just abandoned lot. My friends lived there and lived here. 36, 38 Rose Terrace, they lived here. We used to play in this backyard, and I kid people, say, my DNA is in this soil because I've broken knees, cut, and everything, bled on this soil.
Right.
So, those houses were burnt down and then destroyed, and then it became a lot where illicit things would happen. Illegal drug selling, abandoning cars or parking your stolen car until you're ready to get back in it and move it again. Stripping cars, dumping furniture, people doing things on the other avenue. So when we came in here, once we put up a fence, a gate that showed it was property, my landlord on this side of the state, he thanked me because people were breaking into cars on his side coming through the lot over here.
You see?
So once the fence went up, it stopped. The neighbor on this side, one day he called me over. He says, Kevin, come here. He said, it rained for like 3 or 4 days. He says, and I did my usual routine. I got my mop, I got my bucket, I went down to the basement, and he says he looked and it was dry. He says, all that rain. I said, because all this wood chips and all this soil is like a sponge. And plus we have a rain catchment system that turns his gutter into our water cistern. It's pulling the water away from his property.
Wow.
And so now it's keeping his basement dry.
Impact others, man.
Yeah. Positivity will impact others. And you will get more support in your endeavors in your life.
Right. So you purchased the lot from the city?
The lot was purchased from the city by TPL. Now here's another positive thing. We were doing an event in Newark at the Haynes building. And one of our interns met somebody from TPL and said, oh, we're having an event. She came and brought one of her coworkers. They had such a good time that, and the coworker came up to me and said, Kevin, do you own this? I said, no. He says, are you interested in it? I said, no. He says, if somebody were to buy it for you, would you? I said, yes. I said, yes, now you got me. Yes. He says, we love what you're doing here. We like this environment. The city needs more spaces like this because when you talk about climate change, in Newark is a heat sink. We need to create more cool spaces like this. People come in off the street, they say, oh, it's cool back here. All of the trees, and it's not even July. When July, it'll look like a jungle back here.
Right.
So that's why it's important to be positive. They purchased the property for us because they had a good time. They brought somebody back here with them, and that person had a good time. And he said, we were applying for a grant that was $100,000. And he says, if they don't get that grant, which we didn't, he says, I will give them the money. So he donated $100,000 or she. It's an anonymous donor. They don't want us to know who they are.
Right.
But
Right.
This is what I'm
That's the way
saying.
it should
Being
be.
positive. You know, so
Right.
you never know who you may meet, and you never know who people are. Respect
Right.
everybody.
You know.
That's one of my rules. I respect everybody.
Yeah.
I don't care if they're laying in the gutter in the street or shooting drugs. I mean,
Yeah.
I respect everybody. You don't know
Right.
who people are.
Yeah, we do the men's gathering. We do, I don't like to say men's retreat because I think of like being on a beach with coconut water and being feathered by an ostrich fan.
Yeah.
It's more like a men's training that we do. We take men away into the woods, unplug them from the matrix, and introduce to them different things like yoga and meditation. We go hiking. You know, there's a water purification ceremony. It's called masagi, you know, where you intentionally go into the freezing mountain water, you know, stripping away all of the negative energies and stuff. And I had this one brother contact me on the socials, and he said, do you have to be a straight guy in order to be at the men's retreat? I was like, I didn't say anything about sex.
Yeah.
If you identify yourself as a male, then come through.
Yeah.
Well, what would I care about that?
Yeah.
We don't care about that.
Yeah.
Come on in. It's all right.
Again, bottom line, we're all human beings.
That's right. So now you have the sweat, and then you have different vegetables and fruits that are going here too.
And we basically do medicinal. Recently, Robert Wood Johnson connected with Newark Urban Ag, who purchases our product. Now our product is downtown Newark in the Haynes building. It's called the Harvest. So our product is on the shelves down there. So we're expanding in a comfortable way. You know,
that's beautiful. That's so important too to do some of the things. In fact, I remember picking up some fruits here. I think they were peaches or something like that.
Peaches.
Yeah.
We have people like the pawpaws. When they get the pawpaws, they're like, "Oh my God!" They're hooked. They want to come back. And quite a few people who have tasted the pawpaw went out and brought trees because that's how good. I got to get
when will
one of
they
these
be
trees.
up and harvest some of the fruits?
They're in. Well, the cherries will be the first thing. After the cherries will be the peaches, and after the peaches, the pawpaws are near the end. And then we have hazelnut, 2 hazelnut bushes. We have 2 pecan trees right here, and they're producing.
And
so
the cherries and the peaches, what month?
Well, the cherries would be done next month.
Okay.
Next month. The peaches will be done in June, early July.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the pawpaws in July.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Like great stuff that you're doing here. I know we did a Sananga ceremony too with Brother Sachin.
That was incredible.
Powerful. That was powerful.
And it my niece did that ceremony, and she says it taught her that she could do something that was difficult. And I was listening to a woman talk about health, and she says doing something hard is good for the brain. And I'm not talking about hard like physically hard or a hard math project. No, like getting in a cold shower. That is good for the brain. Like doing a sananga. That is good for the brain. My niece, but it was good for her spirit because she got so much from it. She realized that, hey, I can do things that are hard and tough. You know, so everybody should understand that, we're human beings. If another human being can do it, we can. And that swings to both sides of that spectrum. Don't talk about people who you feel are doing something that's inappropriate because you're a human being too. You can actually do that just by the grace of God or whoever you believe in. You're fortunate to be in a spot where you are, where you don't have to stoop like that.
That's powerful.
You know, so again, respect people.
Yeah, you know, I used to be one of those type of people also that would say, well, I go to work, you know, I'm fine. I'm not hurting nobody, and I'm doing okay. I don't need none of that, you know. But I feel that whoever made us, made us to be great, to do great things, to create things, not just go to job and pay bills and then die and
lead that mediocre life.
That's it. No. That's why I used to work for a corporation in Newark over here, but it's going on 2 years now that I'm I'm full-time Omziel. This is what I do.
Hey.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Thank you. Now that comes with some challenges, right?
Yeah, it
'Cause
does, but
different
challenges are
pressures is
good.
exactly different pressures are coming in from different areas. And just recently, we do many things. We do the podcast, we do the men's retreats, we do festivals. We have a festival coming up called the Purple Sage Festival, and
Where's that gonna be?
it's going to be in Newport, New York.
Okay.
So it's about an hour and a half from here.
Mhm.
You know, music, food, healing modalities, all these kind of things. You know,
Mhm.
but you know, just recently I sent out a newsletter and somebody unsubscribed, and I saw who it was because you get to see, and I'm like, oh man, man, these cool people, they under okay. But then I had somebody else tell me, oh well, you know, the message that you're bringing out sometimes it's a little bit too much, so I'm not going to be a part of what you're doing. And I'm like, well, I thought we was cool, man. You see, but
Yeah.
there it is, right?
Yeah.
The pressures, the challenges are there.
Yeah.
That's always going to happen.
Yeah.
You're not going to please everybody.
No.
No, you have to
Accept
just
it.
keep going. Just keep
Yeah.
going. Just, I'm sure, as nice guy as you are, bro, there's people who come here and go, I don't like that guy for whatever. For
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
He's
you
too
don't know.
nice. He meditates all the time. I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't change for those people. No, this
No,
me.
no, you keep it going. As long as you know that, you know, you keep yourself in check. I mean, that you're doing something good. When people say something to you, I wouldn't just shrug it off.
Mm-mm.
Examine. See
Mm.
if there's any truth into what they're saying. And then if it's not, then you just say, okay, then you shrug it off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You forget about it.
Mm.
But if it is, see how I can make it, change it, make it better.
I did do that. I reflected a bit on some of those things, and I could see how they would see some things.
Yeah.
Because I am who I am. You know, we're domesticated like dogs, right?
Yeah.
Don Miguel Ruiz.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
Four Agreements. I love
Yeah,
that.
I
He said, we're
remember that. Yeah.
domesticated like
We still have
dogs.
the CDs.
And that's a hard one. That's a hard to
Yeah.
accept. Like, what?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we're born into this place, this realm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they tell us, here's your food, here's your clothes, here's your school, here's your temple, here's your God, you know, and we don't question those things.
Yeah.
Until you do come to some realization.
That,
and then you start to say, hey, wait a minute, you know, maybe I like sushi. Or maybe I don't know. I want to go to a synagogue.
To go to
or,
church.
yeah, exactly.
Or I like
why
going to
can't
all
I
the
go?
churches.
Yeah, why can't I go? I'm like that. A temple, I go in, you know. Right away.
Yeah.
So it should be like that. We should remain open.
But I used to be like that. A friend of mine says, hey, you've been to the Sufi temple, you've been to the mosque, you go to church, you've been in. I said, but you know what? I see God there everywhere. I see it everywhere.
Yep. Me too.
You know, people being filled, people lives being changed. You know, that's what I said. Whatever floats your boat, brother.
Yeah.
Do it.
I do. I do see God in all those things, and I've heard some people say, "Oh, well, you're confused." No, actually, I'm very clear.
Yeah.
I'm very clear on what's happening here. I'm open to those things and to see that. You know.
Yeah. If you can say you're exclusive to God, God is exclusive to what you are, then I would say you should check yourself because if we're all God's children, which I agree. Then he may give us all different modalities connect with him. Exactly. I have a cell phone, I have a cordless phone, I have a landline, and they all can talk to people.
That's right. That's right. You know, and my wife, she often says, it's like ice cream, right? You like vanilla, I like chocolate.
Yes.
This guy likes strawberry. It's all ice cream. It's the same thing.
Yes.
You know, it's all. That's why sometimes people get a little bit confused about that, but I usually tell them when they tell me, oh, you know, God heal me in this, I don't want to, you know, just saying in here, God heal me and gave me this miracle. I tell them, you know what? The Hindus are saying the same thing you're saying. The Buddhists are saying the same thing too.
Yes.
And the Christians are saying the same thing. And it's God.
That's and then these great sages did not come, and you can check this out yourself. None of them came to start a religion or a cult.
None of
them. They just came to get us out of our suffering. They want us to be happy because they understand the positive mind brings you closer to your creator. Whoever you feel your creator may be, even if it's nature, the positive mind will bring you closer to nature. You know, so it's like that's something that I think hurts us as human beings. Being so rigid and so focused, and
Right.
so I can't.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Experience what other people experience, and you might change your mind. I'm not saying that you should become a Muslim or you should become a Christian or Jewish, but it won't hurt to go to a temple or a mosque or a synagogue.
Yeah.
It won't hurt.
I've had some events at my place too, and I've even had good family members too.
Yeah.
They said, no, we're not going. What? Why?
Okay.
Oh, because we don't believe in what you believe in. What do I believe in? I'm not even sure about some of the things
you're believing that everybody should be happy and healthy and mentally stable.
That's it. And I say,
well, what does?
Yeah, if you're gonna come and you believe that you're praying that to specific entity, whatever, then come and do that.
Yeah,
We're not gonna stop you.
Yeah.
Why would you not come to celebrate, my child's event or some happy thing that we're coming together? It's just one of those things. Some people believe that aliens would come from another star system and come here and be like, what are you fighting over? You're all the same.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't you tell me a little bit about your trip over there to the UK? How did you find the culture and the people and the energy?
The culture in the UK, very friendly, but we were in a touristy spot, which you'll find all throughout the UK because the history is so much older than ours. We visited an old church, cathedral. That's what it was. It was a big stone cathedral made out of these old stones. And to me, I looked at it as an architect. I said, they waste a lot of space. It's all the usable spaces on here. Then so much space on the top, but I guess they had their reasons. But yeah, so it was good. And one thing that I realized, somebody told me, I said, because people seem a little extra friendly, a little more relaxed. And they said, it's no guns here. I says, oh, maybe that's it. No guns. If you're in the store, you're like kick back and say like this. You're not like,
right.
You're looking at everybody. What's that bulge in your pocket?
Right. Oh,
So yeah, it's no guns. So I would definitely probably go back in the next few years. It's a short flight from here. It cost about $800 round trip, and it was 7 hours flight time.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was beautiful. People were friendly. I stopped in a skate shop. We talked about skating.
We saw that on the socials, man.
Yeah.
They had a small intimate spot, but it was nice, man. They decorated so nice, and they're doing good stuff there.
Yeah, they are. And so the meditation thing was good. I went with a brother from DC who's a meditation instructor, and we hung out, and it was both our first 60 days. So I met brothers from China, from Switzerland, from Canada, all over the world.
60 days?
Yeah, 60
you were there
days.
For 60 days.
60 days in silence. I had my own room, I had my own cell, and then we all met in the Dharma Hall at least once during the day.
I do recommend that to anybody, because with too much talking, with too much stimulation on the outside, it's too much. We need to go quiet into a place where it's silent, not even speaking. So I did a 3-day. It was a work exchange.
Okay.
And it was in Pennsylvania, or I think it was Philly. In any case, we didn't speak, even eating. Like everything, like we meditated, we did Samu work. So they are Zendo, which is Zen Buddhism of Zen. So they're from Japan. So they're a little militant, like or like very structured,
very
which is
rigid,
fine. That's
structured.
Fine.
Like this is like
trust
this.
Me, that was beautiful.
Yeah,
because we need that too.
Yeah,
you see, we don't need to all be like water flow every. There's cups for water, right? But we left through Port Authority, and then when we came back after being quiet for 3 days, back to Port Authority, 42nd Street, Times Square.
Yeah,
it was just an
like
overload of. It really was.
Yeah,
the smells, the lights, the sounds,
all the
people.
sensory
like,
getting hit.
Yeah, it was powerful.
So I understand it, because 60 days, what they do, they give us 60 days. The last 2 days of the 60 are decompression. Because you haven't spoke, you go out in the world, you might go crazy.
Right.
So they give us.
I'm sorry, how many days?
It's 60 days, but the last 2 days, 2 days, we break noble silence. And then we start to communicate with each other. But, you're talking so slow to each other. You're like this and that. And then once it builds up, you start to talk quickly. You're like, because you haven't talked for so long. It's like funny. We're exchanging numbers and data. How was your experience? And, like this. And then we're out into the world.
Well, why don't you tell me, how was your experience after those 58 days?
Yeah, my experience was incredible. I mean, we observed just Anapana, observing the breath for 20 days. And my mind was so calm and relaxed. When I closed my eyes, I would just see visions, just visions, like people moving, structures moving, trees, plants, forests, everything. And this was going on for like day after day after day after day. For just about all the 60 days, I closed my eyes and I would see visions. And then anything, so contemplation at that point is like sharp, because your mind is sharp. That's what you're doing. You're sharpening your mind to go into it. And you can work, like I focused on, me and my wife's relationship. Cut to the answer, the solution right there. Problems with the situations on the farm, I cut to the solution right then and there. So I'm like cutting and cutting and cutting, and also purifying my mind too. Because everything that comes into your sensory realms, your ears, your nose, your mouth, your eyes, manifests on the body. So at that point, anything that arises in your mind manifests on the body, and how you stop reacting to it is you observe it with your eyes closed. You say, yes, this is arising on my body. It could be anger, be passion, lust, fear, doubt. It arises on your skin, on the body, and you observe it. And by observing it and not reacting to it, you come out of it. And so things like that, you just observe, okay, I'm feeling fear now. Why am I feeling fear? Because I'm not usually a fear, but it's in my body. So those 60 days are allowing it to come up. I'm sitting there and I'm feeling like, why am I afraid? Why? And I'm feeling it. And I'm just breathing in it and just observing it and not reacting to it. So then that's how you come out of these negative energies. And speaking of meditation, I have to announce this, that there is a Black Heritage meditation course. And last year, almost 10 people, I think 8 people came from Newark up to Massachusetts, about a 3.5, 4-hour drive straight. And we did a 10-day silent retreat. So this year it's going to be on August the 26th to September the 6th. That's the 10 days. And registration is open now. Registration
I remember
is at...
you turned me on to that last year. Continue, please.
Registration is at dhamma.org, which is DHAMMA.org. And it's Shelburne Falls, Massachusetts. Fill out the application. It's probably already in the wait list. I know the women are wait listed because women don't mess around. They jump
right on it.
Yeah, they jump right on it. So yeah, and it's a Black Heritage course. And they do these courses all around the world. So usually when I travel, a fellow meditator, where you, China, I met a guy from China. I like what he had on. I said, oh my God. I said, I'm going to have to go to China and you can take me shopping.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, so he says, fine,
Okay, so now you're there for the 58 days. And when you first started to... Well, first let me say that you mentioned about the visions, right?
Yeah.
And I have experienced plant medicines, and often they give you these visuals that come up and stuff like that. But in actuality, in my studies, I learned that we don't need to take plant medicine. We already have it in us. We already...
Oh yeah, that medicine's in our body, in our brain.
It's already, That might be a little fast track to it, but we don't really need that. No, we do need to stay silent, and block out all of the stimulation. Yeah, there's a way to get there. But once you tap in, you in. That's it.
Yeah, and that's why we observe the breath as a starter. On the 10-day course, they're doing 3 days of Anapana. Then they go into what they call Vipassana, which is observing reality as it is, not reality as you like it to be or you want it to be, reality as it is. And that's the hard day. That's day 4.
Right. And now tell me, when you started speaking after the 58 days, how was it, man? Like, what were the thoughts coming in your head?
Well, it was challenging to talk because my mind wasn't functioning on that level anymore. It stopped. So you start to talk slow, and then eating food, you the more you go into yourself, the deeper you get, the less you're eating. I started off with a plate like this. Now it's down to a bowl, and the bowl had less in it. And so my digestive thing had changed too. But once you start to talk, you create energy, and now you're going to eat. It was the most amazing course I've ever done, but it's the longest course I've ever done.
Right.
I was just talking to Matt today. He said, "Man, I'm still feeling it." Yeah. He's home now in DC.
You can't be not changed going through something like that. But when you speak about the speaking part of it, and then how you change, it makes me think of, extraterrestrials, right? Usually they report, yeah, I saw the being, but the being didn't talk. But yet I heard the being, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you see, this is like primitive.
Yeah.
We think that we're so advanced talking, but really we shouldn't be. We should be just looking and like directing information.
We should know.
That's it.
Because everything is transmitted. All your thoughts are transmitted. I met a woman who could read your mind. So again, if a human being can do it, that means that you cannot. She was blessed in the sense that it was on top of her mentals. And we would do yoga class. She would say, listen, she was a yoga instructor and she could read minds. So that was incredible. But it's not beyond people, and doesn't have a lockdown. There are people that can just do it.
Right.
It's just easy for them.
Yeah, that's true. We're so much more than we think we are.
Yeah.
But they're blocking us, like with the water and the food and these jobs, like these chains. Hard. You don't see the chains? Trust me, they're there.
Yeah, they are there.
Yeah.
So it's
all right. Well, thank you so much for your time and all that. Tell me about your next events that are happening here.
Okay. Well, we have a Reiki ceremony coming here, and it's a group Reiki, and it's posted on our Instagram. And Liliana Gomez, who's doing the sweat, her and another friend are going to do a Reiki ceremony, but it's in groups. Like you come in groups of 10, 15, and then it's a group price. And then they do Reiki on you. They'll set up and do Reiki.
Nice.
And then in June, we'll start our sweats back. We'll start our guitar meetups back. Or that could be guitar. It could be any string instrument, even piano. If it's cordless, you can bring it back here, and we have them. We'll probably be Monday and Thursday on the music lessons. The sweats are usually on Friday evenings, Saturday mornings. The sweats.
That's beautiful.
And we're starting to let people know that we will be doing a fundraiser because we plan on having a natural building built back here, at least a passive building or a net zero building built on this property. So we can run programs all year round, or kind of like avoid the rainy weather or the cool weather. We can go inside and do classes, ceremonies.
Right.
We always do medicine making back here. We have a Juneteenth walk on Juneteenth. It's going to be the 20th, actually, the 20th.
Okay.
And Yaquana always works with a full house. Their house is full. She does a good tour around here. Connects the nature, the plant medicine, to the Black culture, where it's coming from and why. She gives it meaning. She gives it context in a beautiful way. And we always sit down and we chitter-chat. It's every event here is an opportunity to network. And again, being positively minded, that's how you connect with other people. We've seen people come here and go off into other adventures and start their own thing and just flourish. And they still touch base and say, thank you.
Yep, for sure.
It started here because I met this person here, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I still know people when they first came here too. We're still connected. Another woman too, and she's looking to get involved also in the Purple Sage Festival that we're having on June 13th. and she also saw the men's training that we're doing, and she's like, I want to send my son to that, but
Yeah.
I don't want to force him. And
Yeah.
let's go. Come on.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned that earlier in the talk about, you know, when we have this experience, right?
Yeah.
I'm no better than you, but the fact is that I'm at a certain age that you're not. So I've been around more. I have more experience. I could see things even before they come just a little bit more. I don't have all the answers.
Yeah.
But it gives me some sort of authority in that area.
Yeah, you develop some wisdom.
And
that's what that is.
And if
wisdom.
you want to, what are you talking about? Pain, suffering, and I know a few things about that.
Yeah, we all know. We all know. Everybody knows pain. Everybody wants the other side. But sometimes you have to really open yourself up to look at the pain, to come out of it. And this is by understanding that pain isn't your pain. It's just pain. It's pain. Everybody has it. You any human being, every living being, the cat, the dog, we all have pain. Stop looking away from it. Try to look into it. And as you look into it, you could it's a possibility you can come out.
Yeah, big time. It makes me think of Michael Singer, right, with The Untethered Soul. That's another powerful book too.
Yeah.
It's just to sit in the seat of consciousness. Just be aware of what's happening.
Right.
That's it. You feel pain. Oh, that's what it feels to feel
that's
pain?
what it is.
That's what it feels like, suffering. Okay, I see it. I look at it like that.
You look at
and
it.
You can separate from it. So
we're
too close to the action. We're too close. Like,
you're identifying. You're connecting with it like it's a buddy. No, that's not a friend.
I am
Let's
suffering.
observe it.
No, I'm not. I am. No.
Yeah.
I am so much. I mean, I am powerful. I'm experiencing pain. I'm experiencing suffering in that way, like that.
Yeah. So let me put this out there. My number 973-477-9914. Some people do not do social media. I do send out text flyers. So if you're one of those people, or you just want to call, inquire more information about the farm, shoot a chat about meditation, then give a call.
Yes.
I'm always open.
Thank you for putting yourself out there. I appreciate you so much. And so what's the address here so we can tell people where you're at?
We are at 3638 Rose Terrace, Newark, New Jersey. And we're fortunate to be right next to an elementary school. And believe me, I try to catch those kids every moment I can. We work with the pre-K because the principal wants us to work with these kids from pre-K to 8th grade. So they're not afraid. We started working with the 8th graders and realized they were afraid of nature. They've been so distracted from nature. A couple of kids in the 5th grade walked by and they called the sunflower a bee's nest. I said, hold it, that's not a bee's nest. And they want to argue with me. They want to argue with 3 kids, they want to argue with me. I said, hold it, 1 minute. And then I go over and they start to run. I said, no, hold it. I pulled a couple of sunflower seeds. I said, what is that? They said sunflower. I said, yes, it comes from here, not the bodega. Because they're again, conditioned mind.
Right.
Food comes from a grocery store.
Right.
Sunflower seeds come from a bodega. So health is supposed to come from there too. Don't believe the packages. Please don't.
That's what's up. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tapping in. I appreciate you spending time with us here at the Rabbit Hole Farm, Newark.
Peace.
Peace.
And then we're going to have our fundraiser to help raise a building in October. But I'm promoting it now, letting you know that we're going to do a fundraiser, probably looking to raise about $50,000, maybe a little more, and get the building up, at least get it furnished and stuff.
Yep. That's easy. Yeah, $50 is easy. You can do it.
Yeah. I thank you for your support, Omar, and everybody else out there.
Of course. Thank you, brother. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Brother. Peace.
Peace.